What's up everybody, Sambo here, welcome back to Semi-Vostok. Thank God it is still functioning, and today we're going to be working on this area way up here in the hills. In the last episode of Semi-Vostok, I asked you guys, what do you want me to work on next? And a lot of you said, please do a little town up in the mountains. So here we are. I've had this spot ready to go for quite some time, and there's also the funicular train station up there, which is really useful, so we're definitely going to utilize that. And we also have an existing road, which you can see there, which is the really zigzaggy looking thing. So let's get into building. So this is the funicular train station. Now the actual train asset, the funicular train, doesn't fit in properly, so I had to put those other buildings on top, which you'll see a little bit later on. It doesn't exactly fit. So this area, it's quite high up, so we can't have too many trees, and I wanted to put this huge big monument because I wanted to do that to help make the city have its own identity. Because like a lot of cities, when you see their outline, they have some kind of big monument that you can recognize, right? So that's what I'm doing with that building there. So it's way up in the mountains. I think, is it some kind of bridge pillar or something like that? I don't know, but I think it fits in with the whole Soviet Russian vibe that I've kind of got going on. Bit of a boardwalk there, but let's go back down into the actual main area of the town. So the road that I'm using is just one way with the parking on it, and I wanted to do a really wavy type road through here. So it's kind of older style, not really planned out, no real strict grids. But the only downside when you do really wavy roads like this, you have to make sure that the buildings fit in correctly, because obviously if you build on a grid, everything fits in nicely, but then if you do wavy roads like this, things aren't really going to fit. So I did spend a lot of time off camera adding in all of the details, like the backyards and fences and things like that, which you'll see towards the end of the video. Now there is another road that gets you all the way up here, but that's the one that you have to go through on the other side of the hill and then up way over the hill over the zigzag. So I thought we'd add in this other road right here. I'm doing it as a dirt road, but I do upgrade it to just a normal little road, but it doesn't actually get used very much. I think at the end of the video I saw like 1 or 2 cars using it, which is really great, because if you have a lot of cars coming up through here, could you imagine how weird that would look? Like if you had, I don't know, a traffic equivalent of cars coming up through here, that would look kind of out of place, right? So I think a lot of them are using the funicular train, which is going to be really accessible, and add in a little bus line. It's just a really short one, a free bus line that goes from the train station to the village basically, and really easy. So a lot of them use that, and honestly, catching the funicular train up, like that's going to be so quick. Like it's going to be like less than a minute. So I put in just a couple of commercial buildings, so these 2 here, and then some more to the other side, which you'll see when I find them. Where are they? Those little ones right there. So I didn't want to put the shops on that main Marone street, because I thought, you know what, that's so cliche to put the shops right there, so why don't I do something a little bit different. Those are also shops as well. Okay, I guess I do put some on the main street as well, but there's going to be mostly Russian style buildings which have like maybe 2 or 3 levels on them, and the way that I place them out, it's quite spread out because I wanted to allow for room for backyards and seating areas and lots of trees and things like that, playgrounds and things like that as well. There's also a clinic going up in here. There's also a school. There's going to be 2 of the fire lookout things, you know what I'm talking about, those big fire things. And then all of the other smaller buildings that I put in this whole area, they're the buildings from the If you go into the Steam Workshop, you can find a European Suburban pack. It's like $3 or $4, and ever since I got that, I've just been hardcore using it. So it's like 150 buildings or something like that, something crazy. I love using them because there's just a nice variety. They have their own little backyards, they have a little hedge, they have some seating areas and cars and sheds and things like that. So it's like all of that detailing that you could do manually, it's already done for you if you get that pack. So that's those buildings right there. So I'm just going to fill in the rest of this area. It did take me a while to fill it in and then detail, and yeah, so we'll skip to the next part and you guys will see the rest at the end of the video. Back up at the funicular train, I just added in a little car park, just doing some hedges and just making it look a little bit nicer. I throw in a whole bunch of rocks to the walls just to make it look a little bit more filled in. A couple of playgrounds, a couple of hedges, other things like that, just to make it filled in. But I didn't want to overdo it because since it is up so high, I think it would look weird like if I really detailed all of this, because the surrounding areas, it's basically just trees, right? It's not really an urban area, it's really quite rural when you think about it. So I don't want to add in too much, so I just add in some bigger trees as well to kind of blend it in, and that's basically it for this area. Something else that I wanted to do is add in some kind of lodge. So this is a spa and hotel building. It's really big. I think it looks really cool, and if you might notice how I've added it at a certain height. So it's below the top of the hill because I didn't want the building to be on top of the hill, because I didn't want people to look from the bottom up and see like this huge building structure. I wanted this building to fit into the whole side of the hill, so it's not super noticeable, and it's brown, so it naturally fits in anyway, but I didn't want it to be above the horizon of the hill. I like the dirt type style because it is quite high. Again, there's not going to be a lot of traffic up here anyway, and not much vegetation, so I don't want to add in too many trees in this area as well. And yeah, I just think it looks really cool. It's called Spa and... it's either Spa and Resort or Spa and Hotel if you want to download it. I think it looks really good. And just quickly, this is the bus loop. It's really short. It just goes there to there. And then the one that I choose is that one right there. It's just a little van. It has like 30 people on it. I think it's yeah. I've used it before. I think I used it in the zoo because it's just small. I didn't want to do a really big one since the population isn't that big anyway. So just to show you guys, in case you didn't watch my funicular episode, it starts down there at the little transport hub, goes up through this bushy part into this town called Boransky Hills. I love that really bushy part too. I feel like it's really nice. So you have to transfer funicular trains here, and you can see the monument way up there. This is the little train. It looks like a little caterpillar. It zooms up there really fast. It's really steep, but I think it looks really cool. Camera goes a little bit funny, but when it comes up here, you can see the actual funicular train asset doesn't exactly fit in. It kind of overlaps with the train station. If you look in there, you can see it kind of doesn't fit in very well, so that's why I put those restaurants on the top. And just to show you guys where the funicular train goes, it goes down this hill and over to this little town right here. So let's go check out the town now that it's more detailed. Also, I just wanted to say that I didn't put any industrial areas up here because I didn't want there to be a huge truck industrial type presence up here, so it's pretty quiet, this whole area. There is industrial over the other hill in that town that I just showed you, so if they do want to go there, they can just jump on the funicular train, or they can go right down to the bottom, and like it's really accessible with the funicular train anyway, and that's why basically no one drives, because that funicular train is gonna save you so much time, and plus it's cool. Like, I would ride on that. No, I'd probably drive every now and then, but I probably would jump on the funicular train. I should make it free, because, or maybe I shouldn't. I don't know, but doesn't that look good? All the grass through there. You got some of those longer, I don't think these ones are really like Russian style, but I think they still fit in. And then we got the nice big spa and resort up here. I added in a little pathway there, just the dirt one on the left that comes down to the road, just to make it a little bit faster. I didn't want to do a main road going through this area because I feel like cars would cut through and then that wouldn't really fit in with the whole relaxing spa vibe, you know what I mean? So they still have to go all the way around through the zigzag area. Oh, doesn't that look good? And look at that view. I also just threw in this little complex building there, nothing too special, but just something a little bit more modern for the area, and I basically just wanted to fill in that area. Now, at the top of this hill is a lookout point. It looks a little bit funny, but it's kind of more practical because you have the lookouts on either side of the hill, because it's right on the tip of this mountain, or part of the mountain. So you can walk from the left side and look towards the city view, or you can walk to the right side and look more towards the other hills and the smaller town, or you can go up this tower here, which is actually the fire lookout tower, but I think it fits in quite well because, like, I don't know, they can pay a couple of dollars and walk up there. So I think that really completes the area. So anyway, I think that's all for this video. Now, we do need a name for this town, so we have a lot of names similar to Burr, my last name, so we can't use any of those. Maybe something with Sam, I don't know, but it has to be keeping in theme with everything else. In terms of the next episode, I'll leave that up to you guys, whether it is a tutorial video, a city fix video, or Semi-Vostok, or something else. Completely up to you guys. Yeah, so let me know about that, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.